interested, as a runner myself, how on earth do you train for a 100-miler?
You run. You do a lot of other things as well. A lot of people are not in balance. We're either right-handed or left-handed, right-footed, left-footed, whatever. We sit a lot at work, or we're on our feet all day at work. So you've got to figure out what's actually going to work for you. Now, I work closely with a buyer, Alona Hearn, and she's told me just how unbalanced I am. As well. But we've been working on weaknesses that help prevent injury. I have had one or two injuries along the way as well, which we've had to then rework into the program to make sure that I stay fit enough to finish. And when I say fit enough, it's not that I'm not fit, it's that, you're working around an injury, your body compensates, and it might cause further damage down the line. You don't want to do that.
Definitely not, seeing that you still have another 100-miler coming up shortly. And do you have any funny stories to tell us? Anything that has really stood out in your mind that you've either found hilarious or things that people have said to you, things that have happened? Can you share some fun stuff with us?
There's so many stories along the way. I follow an account on Instagram called Ultra Running Memes. Now, the purpose of the account is fun, and one of their big things is vert is not real. Vert, for those of you who don't run, basically means how much you climb during a race or a run. So if you're struggling going uphill, it's not that vert is real, it's that you're unfit. They also make fun of brands. So there's a lot of different shoe brands, and I've connected with a number of folk who wear the same brand that I do, but it's not a common brand. And we've made some really good friends just by interacting online and then going and doing stuff like running 100 miles together. It's really a good way to make friends. On the last particular event, at 17 kilometers in, I was going along fairly nicely to that point, when a stone, which wasn't going anywhere, jumped in front of me and took out my right big toe. I stumbled. It was tough. In trying to stop myself falling, I decided it was a good idea to put my trekking pole down fast. Unfortunately, my left foot was in the way. So it was a bit of a comedy of errors, and something that 1 in a million people will get right. But they don't call me blonde for nothing.
I hear you. And now on a slightly more serious note, was there any stage during the 300 milers that you've done now, back to back, 1 month apart, that you actually thought, oh gosh, I might not actually make this?
Yes, very seriously during the last 2 I had moments like that. In preparing for the first one, which was Addo, I looked at and it's a very important part of training for long distance events, any endurance event, how your head is going to handle it. Because when you're running 100 miles, don't worry, it's going to get tough at some point. And you're gonna hit a low. The other side of it is, don't worry, that's gonna pass. You're gonna feel good again at some point. It's about being able to keep going. And I was very fortunate on Addo. I had maybe half an hour, maybe an hour where I felt, oh, man, this is tough. Why am I doing this? But during UTD, when it got cold and it got dark and I wanted to just fall asleep in the mist, it was a case of, why am I doing this? You really got to find your why, find who you are, know that you can, and even if it's just that you don't stop. that was a lesson I learned last year. That you just don't stop, keep going. During AMUK, after that 17 Ks, it was about another 15, 20 Ks later that my left knee seized. So I was walking a bit like, Jack the Pig, or the pirate with a peg leg, and hitching my hip over to swing my left leg. So it was really, really tough. And the elevation, the vert, on this particular race was hectic. When it was steep, and it was technical. So where you placed your feet was important, and not having enough control was playing on my mind. At halfway, in fact, before halfway, I thought, okay, I'm actually going to pull out because I might just do some permanent damage here. I got to halfway. I asked, okay, how far is it to the next aid station? What's the ground like? Is it terribly technical, or is it fairly easy going? It was technical. It was probably 2 a.m. I saw a couple of friends, a guy who had spent the night on a mountain with at UTD, Twerby, and Sharon O'Keefe, who organizes ADO. They all came in just behind me, or just in front of me, I'm not sure. It was dark and I was tired. And Toby basically said, okay, Sharon, let's get this done quick. And I decided, you know what, that's probably the best way to do it. Just not sit down too long and get going. Yes. And I think that's one of the big things about these kind of events, particularly where you've got aid stations like this, is you don't want to sit too long.
Now, Steve, because you've done the Washi before, okay, how does that compare to actually running 100 miles off-road? Because now the Washi is 100 miles on the road where you at least have tar, and it's, you're not going to get into a fight with a boulder or something. So how does that compare?
100 miles, every race is different. So each of the 3 off-roads that I've done has been completely unique. And the same principle applies to Washi. Yeah, you don't necessarily have to worry too much about where you're placing your feet until cat's eyes come into play. Tar is a lot harder than a lot of the off-road stuff, so the jolting on the body affects you more. The other item you have to worry about is vehicles, which you don't have off-road. So you need to keep your wits about you, but that's true in any life situation as well as any running situation. So yeah, I've been asked which is easier, which is harder. 100 miles is 100 miles, and it depends how you approach it. If you're going to go out there just to make memories, have fun, take it easy, it's going to be fun and easy. If you're going to go race it, you could very easily end up in needing crutches the next day.
I bet. Now tell me, I'm interested to know, as a person, how do you feel you've grown? Has it had a significant impact on your life? And if you had to do this all over again, would you?
I would do it again any day. It has been a phenomenal period of my life. Running helps you, it helps me certainly deal with stress and deal with the normal demons of life. The short, sharp stuff, it gets rid of angst. The longer stuff helps me think and put things in order. So would I do it any day, every day? If there are people who are prepared to pay me to run, I'd do it. Would I do Run AMUK again like I've done it this year? I would probably do it a little differently. From a training perspective, I would certainly get a professional team together sooner than I did. So a bio. It was what it was this year, and I don't regret any part of it. I've made memories, made friends, I've had lots of fun. And as much as running is a social sport, a solo sport, it's a social sport, it's a team sport. You have a team around you, both the guys and girls who are running with you, as well as your family, as well as your supporters, in whatever form that is.
Very, very true. And once again, it's the same in life. Now, just before we let you go, there's some paraphernalia that you brought for us here. Can you just quickly run us through these?
I certainly can. So, on the left is the Washi trophy. Well, I guess the right of the screen. Yeah. So, yeah. They're handcrafted for each Washi finisher. You also get a 1980s designed top. They are not common, and it's a great memento to have. Normally with trail hundreds, it's a tradition that began in the United States that you get a belt buckle. So races, you'll often get a medal as well as a buckle or something else. So with Addo, he got the buckle, and it's something unique, 200 milers. With UTD, you get the bell, and that just reflects exactly the kind of terrain you're going through. It makes the race unique, and it's when the 20 odd of us or the 30 odd of us that finished rang our bells at the end of UTD this year. It was quite a special moment. And then Mac, which is the new kid on the block, my favorite color, orange. That's that belt buckle there. I'm not sure what's going to come at Carcliffe. I haven't seen that buckle yet. I've been deliberately not looking for them.
Well, I can only assume it will be absolutely awesome. And that is taking place when again?
That's the 20th to the 22nd of September. So it's about 2 months away, and lots of time still to recover and then train a bit and then taper a bit and then, going to have fun.
Awesome. And you mentioned an event that you're having where others can participate as well. Would you just like to mention a little bit about that?
Absolutely. The Galaxy Bingo 112 Run. So you can go and look on Facebook, 112 Run, ONE12RUN. It's going to be a 12-hour event. So anybody can run. There's a number of different ways to get involved. You can do a 5K. You can do a team of 4, a team of 2, or as an individual, you can do a 50-kilometer or a 12-hour challenge and see how far you can go. So the relay teams and the individuals doing the 12-hour challenge get out on the course and see how far you can go. It's going to be held at Grassroof. We're going to be doing loops of that parkrun route. So go and train on a Saturday. It is beautiful, and it's a fabulous family venue. So the whole day is going to be it's just all about the vibe and about the opportunity to get involved in giving of yourself, both to the charities that we're supporting as Razorbar, as well as just testing your fitness and fun. Belega have given 4 pairs of socks, not 2 socks. So essentially, the team or the individual that raises the most money for charity will get themselves 4 pairs of socks. The best socks ever. Hashtag. So I've run in a whole bunch of pairs of socks, and even if I wasn't an MP this year, this would be my brand of choice.
Fantastic. Well, they certainly feel amazing and nice and padded.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, thank you so much for chatting to us. And there you guys have it. Sign up for the 112 Run. Go look at Facebook. Steve, thank you so much, and best of luck for your Carcliffe coming up.
Thank you very much. I'm really looking forward to it.